Greetings, everybody. My name is LaShondra. We welcome you back to Rising Ground Church. If you happen to be new here, welcome to the family. Make sure that you are listening to God, specifically when instructions are involved or it's pertaining to a specific situation. So I want you guys to really hear this word carefully, listen to the instructions, and make sure that you're asking God if this word is for you or not, because this is all talking about cutting people off and letting things go and not allowing them to weigh you down. So the Lord showed me two different visions, kind of like a two-part, and he began to speak to me about it. But this has been kind of like a week now that God just keeps talking to me and shedding more light on it. And it wasn't until just a little while ago I was having a conversation with someone, and the fullness of it really just kind of took bloom. And I was like, oh, okay, Lord, I get it. Thank you. This is what you're saying. So in the first vision, I saw this rope, and it was knotted together. It was like a rope extension. And all of these different ropes were knotted together in order to reach down where this person was reaching up to grab the rope. And I saw the person, I could see the look on their face was kind of like of anguish, and they were reaching up for it. I asked the Lord about it. He spoke, cut your losses and move on. And then I had another vision that night that was pertaining to that same vision. And in this one, I saw the rope tearing. I could see all of the tears, and the Lord was saying, if you don't do it, I will. Now, there are several different meanings in that. Okay, so listen up. First, God is saying that some of you have extended and extended and extended to people, but God is telling you that that time is up and it's time to let them go. Now, he specifically said, cut your losses. And God doesn't always speak like that, but he will when he knows this is how you feel about it. Because it's not necessarily that God is looking at it as a loss. So pay attention to that. It's not that God is saying that it's a loss, because anytime that you're giving and that you're doing something according to instruction, then it's not a loss. But you may feel like, man, I've poured into this person, or I've poured into this thing over here, this project, and it seems as if I didn't get anything from it. And so it can feel like a loss to you, but God is still telling you to cut it and to move on, because the other piece of what I saw, that rope that was actually breaking, is the weight of that endeavor. The weight of that person is weighing you down. And that, in essence, is what is breaking the rope. And that's why God says, if you don't do it, then I will. Meaning that he will allow these things to happen, to become so heavy that now it is breaking. And you don't want to get to that point. You want to be able to release them with love and in forgiveness and gratitude for what they taught you, for what they showed you, even about yourself, for growth, and to move on. I want you to, in your own time, read Psalms 112, specifically, I believe, verses like 1 through 5 or 1 through 6. And it talks about the obedience and following after God, and how you won't be weighed down by evil things, those who obey God. So you have to pay attention even into the timing. So back to that. Pay attention to the timing that God is telling you to pour into something or to someone. You don't want to extend past the time that God has spoken, the time that he has ordained, because what you think is helpful is actually more harm to them than good, and harm to yourself. So you think that because you're doing this over and over that it's helping them. But if God has a set appointed time for something, you have got to stay obedient to him and follow his instructions for you. And only he knows that set time. It could seem like it's years, and it can be years. Sometimes it can be months, but only God knows. So seek him and consult him and see if this word is for you. And if it is, make sure that you're cutting them off and that you're moving on. Remember, God will send someone else. Don't worry. Sometimes we prolong something because we're concerned about a person. God knows, and he'll send somebody else to minister, to help, to do whatever needs to be done, but he'll do it. Don't force, and don't go past and beyond the time that he has set. All right. Well, I pray that you really receive this, that you hear it spiritually, and that you understand what God is saying. All right. I love you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.